All right, just started the recording, so we're good to kick things off.
Hey. Okay. Okay, well, good afternoon and welcome everyone. Thank you all for joining CW and VMware today for our webinar led by Amy, John, and Tom. We just wanted to take a few moments to introduce our team and presenters this afternoon. So first we have Amy Fauchon from our CDW team. Amy is our VMware Senior Solution Specialist. And next we have John Saint from the Broadcom team. He is the CDW Partner Director. And finally, we have Tom Neglemeyer from the VMware team. And Tom is the Product Marketing Engineer. Okay, so just a quick rundown of what today's presentation is going to look like. We're going to start with John, who will be discussing in depth the VMware by Broadcom offering. Then we will have Amy discussing the benefits of VCF, followed by Tom, who will be going into vSAN. And finally, Amy will be discussing how CDW can support your teams with VMware by Broadcom, finishing off with a question and answer period at the end. So without further ado, I will pass it over to John.
Hello, and thank you, Caitlin. I appreciate the opportunity to present with CDW. So I am John Saint, and as mentioned, I am the Partner Director for CDW Canada. Today, I'm going to review the Broadcom vision to deliver the best private cloud platform. Broadcom made 3 commitments to our customers a year ago. First, we are simplifying VMware. Broadcom reorganized the business to better align product development with the priority of delivering customer outcomes. Second, Broadcom is investing a lot to make our products easy to use and work together, and ultimately give our customers a robust catalog of advanced services. And finally, we're enhancing the partner ecosystem so our customers will receive a consistent VMware experience. So why are we making these changes? Let's talk about what's been happening in our industry. VMware started out in the data center with teams delivering compute, storage, network, and security. These teams delivered great things in each of their silos, but varied widely in how well these silos work together. The data showed in the end that this is not the best way to run an infrastructure. This led to higher overall infrastructure costs and lower team efficiency. Firms struggled with complexity, managing compliance and updates to multiple product platforms. What followed was the cloud-first era, driven in many ways by that inefficiency. Firms got frustrated by how long things took with tickets passing between teams and waiting for budget cycles. Firms began to demand a much simpler and faster cloud approach. This led to directives to get as many workloads in the cloud as possible. Many customers now find themselves facing ever-increasing cloud costs and struggling in cases where workloads have been moved that are not well suited for the cloud. Additionally, with the emergence of AI and ML, customers are now looking to repatriate their data so they can ensure they do not lose control of their valuable data. That leads us to where VMware is headed. Is there a way that we can bring together the best of these worlds to deliver a cost-effective way to manage your infrastructure? By bringing together those silos into an easy-to-manage platform for compute, storage, network, and automation to build your own private cloud? The answer is yes, and we can do it much cheaper than the alternatives. Compared to the old siloed approach, we think we can cut your total cost to run private infrastructure in half. And when compared to public cloud, we believe we can significantly cut costs as well. VMware is connected to every industry around the world, and just about all shapes and sizes. This means we have worked with customers at all stages of the cloud journey. Customers are able to work with VMware and our private cloud offering at any stage of the lifecycle. Customers may have a large portion of their environment still in legacy private data centers, or customers may have a cloud-first approach with a lesser portion of their environment in the legacy data center. I'm building out the slide here and then on to the next slide. So no matter where our customers are, whether you're starting from the legacy data center or moving through your cloud first or repatriating data, the VMware Cloud Foundation solution can be used to accelerate innovation. Let's take a moment to understand what we mean when we say cloud. Cloud is not a location. It is a way of working. It's an operating model, if you will. Many people think that cloud is a specific platform, such as AWS or Microsoft Azure. The cloud is not a platform. It is the services that enable a cloud operating model, or the way we build and provide IT services and capabilities. Cloud benefits come from modernizing how we build, operate, consume, and protect IT resources, applications, and services. The VCF private cloud solution allows for all of the same advanced services and components that the primary cloud offerings provide. We have learned from recent surveys, and CDW has seen this trend as well, that customers are making private cloud solutions a priority. Firms are looking for a solution that helps their organization manage costs, complexity, and compliance. As VMware moves forward, our focus is on our core solutions shown in the left box and the advanced services that accompany it shown at the bottom of the box. We have customers that use our compute-only solutions shown on the right. In the future, you will find that the core solutions will be the primary platforms for future software, releases, and improved features. That concludes my portion. I'll now turn it over to Amy, who will discuss the benefits of VCF 9.
Sorry, just had to find the mute button. Hi, everybody. My name is Amy Fauchon. I am the Senior VMware Solution Specialist at VMware. At Broadcom. Oh, this is a hard day. At CDW. So I am responsible for talking to customers about their technologies and how Broadcom and VMware can help them. I am a CDW employee. So last Tuesday, Broadcom announced VMware Cloud Foundation 9 is general availability. This platform was unveiled at VMware Explorer last year. VCF 9 delivers a single unified platform that supports all applications, traditional VMs, modern containers, and AI workloads, all in one ecosystem. VCF is a flexible platform that can be deployed on premises, in public clouds, within sovereign clouds, at the edge, or in telco environments. Beyond the core VCF platform, advanced add-on services cover key use cases like private AI, disaster recovery, ransomware protection, advanced security, including cyber security measures and malware and ransomware, load balancing, application services, and more. Cloud admins, formerly known as, next slide, please. Cloud admins, formerly known as virtual infrastructure admins, manage the underlying infrastructure for compute, storage, networking, and utilize core VMware technologies like vSphere, vSAN, and NSX, as well as other networking technologies. The consumers use the offerings provided by the cloud admins and consume it as they are in the cloud. The advanced VCF advanced services, the private AI, DR and ransomware recovery, advanced security, load balancing, application services, data services, Network observability, business operations, and secure access. Those are bolt-on services to the core functionality of the VMware Cloud Foundation platform. Next slide, please. VMware Cloud Foundation represents a fundamental shift to how customers approach the deployment and building of private cloud infrastructure. VCF9 brings together the trusted technologies that customers have relied on for over 25 years, including vSphere, vSAN, NSX, and the Area suite of products. VCF9 consolidates all these technologies into a single unified platform. This platform supports the deployment of traditional VMs and also enables the seamless deployment of containers and Kubernetes as native constructs. Additionally, it enables organizations to deploy AI-driven applications, addressing the growing demand from executive decision makers who are focused on harnessing the power of AI for their operations. Next slide, please. Why run containers in the cloud? On the VCF cloud platform, it lowers your CapEx with higher efficiency. Built-in Kubernetes runtime eliminates the need to run separate Kubernetes infrastructure such as Docker. Using containers can optimize performance for high throughput, low latency workloads. Higher utilization of your assets. By combining the containers and VMs on the same platforms, you are maximizing utilization of your environment. Reduce the OpEx by having a consistent operating model. It simplifies management across the VMs and containers. There is no need to retrain staff or switch tools. Existing automation and policies can be applied to both. It reduces the administrative overhead, making operations more efficient. And unlike fragmented solutions, VCF provides a single pane of glass for managing all your workloads and is recognized as the gold standard for virtualization. Next slide, please. One of the key changes in the VCF9 is the introduction of a single unified interface that allows you to manage all operational aspects of your VCF deployment. In earlier versions, you had to switch between consoles like the SDDC Manager and vCenter to manage your operations. With VCF9, all that functionality is integrated into one interface, providing a complete view of your private cloud operations. VCF supports running Kubernetes, VMs, and traditional applications natively, and provides a platform that is both sovereign and secure. It includes built-in mechanisms to ensure that data and infrastructure are fully protected and compliant. Finally, VCF offers complete cost transparency as you build and scale your systems. Next slide. So VCF infrastructure comes hardened out of the box and delivers a defense in depth approach at both the server and hypervisor level. Centralized, automated, non-destructive patch management allows for updates that can be done at any time. Microsegmentation, utilizing the vDefend distributed firewall with advanced threat protection add-on, provides distributed security for your east-west network traffic inside your VCF private cloud. It helps prevent lateral movement of threats and provides advanced functionality to detect and prevent advanced threats such as ransomware attacks. The combination of the distributed firewall and advanced threat protection provides a solution that goes beyond basic segmentation and provides full stack security to protect your VCF private cloud from advanced threats such as ransomware. And then VMware Live Recovery, formerly known as Site Recovery Manager, is a proven technology that allows you to restore at scale of your VCF and VVF environments. It is a purpose-built solution that integrates behavioral analysis of powered-on workloads for detection of fileless attacks. Next slide, please. The vDefend Advanced Services add-on for the NSX enhances VMware Cloud Foundation with an advanced network security, including network detection and response, malware prevention, and distributed intrusion prevention. Network detection and response identifies and mitigates threats in real time, reducing potential impact. Malware prevention proactively blocks malware at the network edge to protect workloads. Distributed intrusion prevention prevents unauthorized access and malicious activity across the network. Gateway and distributed firewall provides granular traffic control and prevents lateral movement of both gateway and distributed firewalls. Security intelligence automates threat detection and intelligence response to evolving threats with deep insights into network security posture. vDefend provides a security framework for VCF that provides proactive protection and real-time threat detection for a secure cloud environment. Next slide, please. The VMware Load Balancer, the AVI Load Balancer, is advanced service add-on is a powerful service for VMware Cloud Foundation that provides load balancing as a service, optimized application delivery with high availability and performance across workloads. AVI Load Balancer simplifies load balancing management, offering seamless integration with VCF automation, and provides consistent, scalable, and automated load balancing for both traditional and cloud-native applications and hybrid environments, so VMs and containers. Next slide. The VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA Advanced Services add-on is a joint platform by Broadcom and NVIDIA designed to help enterprises harness the power of Gen AI. This platform enables businesses to deploy AI workloads faster, fine-tune large language models, and run retrieval augmented generation workloads within their own data centers, ensuring control over their data, privacy, security, and compliance. Next slide. These are the VMware Advanced Services add-ons that are available for the VCF platform: Private AI, DR ransomware recovery, advanced security, load balancer, application services, data services, network observability, business operations, and secure access. All of these are bolt-ons to the core VCF functionality and serve specific purposes. And with that, I'll turn this over to Tom, who's going to talk about vSAN.
Great, thanks everyone. Let's see, get this camera rocking. All right, there we go. Hi everyone, good to see you. Let's jump right in. So a lot of people are probably wondering, well, yeah, a lot of you folks are out there probably have vSphere and you're looking at VCF and say, gosh, well, that looks like a lot. Where do customers get started after vSphere? What's kind of next after you would, what's kind of next in the VCF platform that a lot of folks adopt? And so for a lot of our VCF customers, the natural first step for them after vSphere is vSAN and modernizing their storage. So we'll talk a little bit about that today. Now, let's see. Oh goodness, I'm going to need some help with this. Can you guys see the talk track? Or do you just see the slides?
We just see the slides.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that's good. Thanks for confirming. So why modernize storage? Well, I talk to a lot of customers in a year. I talk to them via focus groups. I talk to them at our events with Explore. I even get to do a few surveys a year and quickly speak to hundreds of customers that way via survey. And you know, the first question I ask is, do you have challenges with your storage? And, you know, overwhelmingly, I think 95% of customers say, yeah, you know, storage is a challenge in my environment. Now, why is that? And so, you know, I think we can consolidate their responses into these 7 particular categories. You know, customers need something modular, right? They're tired of having these proprietary solutions. there's something that I need in a data center, then there's this edge thing I need, and oh, and I've got my instances running in public cloud, right? I want something modular that I can put in the same, that can be consistent across all of my environments. That's going to give me something very easy to manage and monitor, right? And so, and in order to be modular, they need something that's software defined that helps avoid those hardware dependencies, right? And it needs to be scalable. You can't put the same storage in my data center that I'm going to put in, say, a retail center, right? So I need something that can start small, that can scale up rapidly, though, that can meet those needs in the data center. I need that single management plane that's going to connect to all of these environments in my edge, in my core data center, in my public cloud, and it's got to be secure, right? The threat landscape is continuously evolving. We can't play around with security, and I need to make sure that it's compliant. I can't have all these, special designs out there. That makes it hard to make sure that they're in compliance with my policies. And finally, they need storage that's multi-protocol, right? I don't want to have solutions for block, file, and object all separate. I want a single unified solution. And oh, by the way, can you do it at a lower cost than what I'm currently paying? So it's no small ask. So that, just to sum it up here, let me build this out real quick, right? Is a lot of folks are in the left-hand on the left-hand environment right now, right? They're on a 3-tier architecture. It's got proprietary hardware. It's predominantly scale up. A lot of the vendors are going to try to get you to buy a lot of your storage resources up front. But it's a good solution. It's been around for a long time. It scales, but from what I've seen, the average customer has got a lot of idle capacity sitting there that they spend a lot of money for. Is there a better way to do this? Can I get something that's going to lower my cost, that's going to deliver the performance that I need, and it's going to be managed in the same way at the edge or in the public cloud that I do in my core data center? And that's where the hyper-converged approach is. Rather than your traditional scale-up storage array, we have VMware vSAN, which gives you that ability to scale out in small incremental, in small increments, one node at a time. And you can scale both compute and storage in an aggregated fashion in traditional HCI, or you can scale in a disaggregated way, much how you scale your storage array in a disaggregated topology. So it really is offering that flexibility because it is software defined. It runs on that commodity hardware. It can scale linear or disaggregated, and it offers that common management across all of those deployments. So what is vSAN, right? It is our software defined storage that runs on any standard x86 server. It takes all the storage that's locally there in your server and turns it into a shared data store. Start as small as 2 nodes, scale up to 64 nodes in a cluster, and it delivers all the enterprise grade storage that you have come to expect from your array, but it does it via software, and it can do it at a very high scale with very high performance. Now, one of the great secrets of vSAN is the operational efficiency that you're going to gain. All of the storage is managed through policies instead of doing these highly manual tasks. A great example of that is storage provisioning. When you're provisioning storage for a VM with vSAN, it's a single workflow. Right after you provision that VM, you can provision the storage along with it. It takes a few minutes, and then you're off and running. The storage enforces that policy and makes sure that the data for that VM stays, or the storage stays in compliance with what you have prescribed via that policy. In multiple studies, we've seen anywhere from a 70 to 80% reduction in the amount of time it takes to manage storage, and storage provisioning is one of those things that can take a long time that gets much faster with vSAN. Now, vSAN's been around a long time. It's a very mature solution. We actually had the initial release in March of 2014, so it's been around for over a decade now. And you can see all of the capabilities that we've brought to bear over the decade plus. In those initial releases, getting it enterprise ready, introducing erasure coding, introducing vSphere replication and stretch clusters to give our customers a highly available solution. The 6.6 release train, 6.7 release train, really enhancing security and resilience. And then with vSAN 7 the 7 train, really focusing on building out those cloud natives, introducing things like native file services, enhancing resiliency and fault tolerance, introducing the CSI driver that enables developers to access vSAN infrastructure with the tools that they know, while giving the administrators complete visibility and the same management for container volumes that they would for traditional VMs. And finally, with vSAN 8 introducing our next generation architecture, the Express Storage Architecture, which has been around for about 2.5 years now. It's rapidly becoming the more common deployment that, and the vSAN ESA brings that next generation performance and resiliency and the disaggregation capabilities that we are very proud of here. And we haven't stopped with vSAN and VCF 9. You can see that we continue to build out the innovation to deliver value to our customers. With vSAN in VCF 9, we've delivered global deduplication. That's going to reduce that total cost when you combine all the other storage efficiency technologies and the lower cost from using industry standard servers. We're looking at a 34% TCO reduction versus traditional storage. We've boosted the performance for vSAN storage clusters to bring it on par with vSAN HCI and boosting that performance by up to 25% through introducing storage cluster traffic separation. We continue to build out our security and resiliency story with VCF 9 introducing vSAN to vSAN replication, among other features, and making it easier to manage all of VCF storage at scale, bringing in new capabilities, new management consoles. The VCF operations now has a storage console. It has a vSAN performance and performance diagnostics dashboards to help you manage all of your VCF infrastructure. Now, how do we address all of the pain points that I mentioned earlier? We've talked a little bit about how we make vSAN enterprise grade, but how do we do this? Customers need low latency storage for their mission critical workloads. We're able to do that with our Express Storage Architecture we introduced in August of 2022. It boosted the performance of vSAN by about 4x versus the previous iteration. And we recently did some testing and found that we can deliver around 300 IOPS per node, which is pretty significant. So in a 4-node cluster, you're talking over 1 million IOPS. Very low latency, very consistent, regardless of what the demands being put on it. Rapid and agile scaling, the ability to start very small with just 2 nodes in a witness and scaling up to 64 nodes in a cluster. And in a storage cluster topology, we can start from as small as just 6 terabytes and go all the way up to 8.5 petabytes of storage. So we can really handle those very small retail type deployments, say in a store or at a bank branch, and scale up to being very large in a data center to supporting predictive and generative AI workloads. That the unified, robust operations is absolutely critical. Many of our customers have been able to move from having storage specialists to having a unified infrastructure team. They spend a lot less time managing storage, and they're able to focus on higher level tasks versus just the routine troubleshooting and performance monitoring of systems. They're able to move beyond kind of those tasks. And finally, cost efficiency, right? We run on over 500 ready nodes from 15 different OEMs. So you can really choose. You have a lot of choice with the server vendor that you go with, because we run on those servers, and you can choose. That helps drive down the cost for you. And with VCF, one TIB of vSAN is included per core of VCF. So if you just think about it, with a standard server of 32 cores, two 16-core CPUs licensed for VCF, that's 32 TIBs of storage per server that you get entitled with VCF. So that can bring a real cost difference for customers that are looking at moving to VCF. If they get that when you get that entitlement with your VCF license, that's just one less cost that you have. So here's a great example of how vSAN performed recently. We published a blog on this not too long ago for a financial services company. They were looking at vSAN versus their what they'd been relying on, which was a high performance storage array. And so they first off, they looked at how much is this going to cost us over 3 years, vSAN versus our existing vendor that we're pleased with. And they looked at, the price over 3 years and said, wow, 31% cheaper if I move to vSAN versus this array. My best offer from my traditional vendor. But so that's nice. Let me take a look at this. Can it actually do what I need it to? I'm running some very critical applications here, things that my business relies on. So let me make sure before I move over to vSAN that it can deliver the performance I need. Well, they tested it a couple different ways. They tested it in what's called a real world test, where they tested the workload, and then they did storage limit testing. Said, okay, well, this workload isn't pushing my storage to its limit. What happens when I test the storage limit of the array versus vSAN? Let me see what happens. And finally, what happens when I fail a node? And so this was a traditional array, so 2 I/O controllers versus a 6-node vSAN ESA cluster. And so what they found is in that real world test that vSAN under peak conditions could deliver 20% higher IOPS, but when they tested the limit of the storage, that vSAN actually delivered 70% higher IOPS than their existing array. And when they failed a node, when they failed that I/O controller versus failing a vSAN node, because of vSAN's distributed architecture, it's got 6 nodes instead of that 2-node controller, that we had 60% better latency during a node failure than the existing array. So vSAN can absolutely deliver for mission critical applications. This was SQL Server running on vSAN versus a traditional array. Just, again, one more time, how do we lower TCO? We have a publicly available study on this, 70% savings in hardware and software costs, about 75% savings in administrative costs with that lower TCO over 5 years, running on those industry standard components. Lower maintenance costs with server-based storage. You're going to pay a lot more to maintain an array, particularly in the later years of an array versus server-based storage. So that delivers significant savings. We accelerate those operations through policy-based management, and you can also deliver lower real estate, power, and cooling costs. So those are absolutely real costs for a customer. I'll touch on this very briefly because we've already talked about storage policy-based management. You get that reduced time to resolution. We have all the new capabilities that we delivered with VCF operations and VCF 9 that surfaces all the vSAN health alerts and performance issues within that new console, making it very easy to manage vSAN at scale. And finally, simplify lifecycle management with VCF. It becomes a lot easier to rapidly update and upgrade your software with a desired state model. So it can all be done automated with validated updates that VMware pushes. And finally, if you do look at Cloud Foundation, we do have multiple options that you can, of course, you can run vSAN. We've spent quite a bit of time talking about vSAN, but of course, you can also use your traditional storage. You can bring traditional storage to VCF2. We support VMFS on Fiber Channel, we support NFS, and we support some PowerFlex deployments as well on VCF. So you can see here from the chart, we strongly believe that vSAN will give you the best bang for your buck. It's the only one that gives you things like automated lifecycle management, patching, and upgrades. The automated deployment and scale is particularly powerful. Storage policy-based management, all of that can be done natively in VCF with vSAN. But again, we do support third-party storage with VCF. So if you're interested, reach out to the folks at CDW, and they'll get you set up. With that, I will turn it over.
Well, so why choose CDW to help with your Broadcom transition? We have the professionals in-house in Canada. Next slide, please. That can help you transition to your end state. We have over 45 solution architects who have 10 plus years in the industry with experience, some with 20 and 25 years. They all are an excellent resource. We have combined over 140 delivery resources that can help you implement it. So whether your needs are just to assess or architect a new solution, or actually do the implementation itself, we have the people that can help you. So if that's something you're interested in, reach out to your CDW account manager and get the ball rolling. So thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. So I just want to open up the floor to any questions.
And people are welcome if you don't want to speak. If you would like to post it in chat, we can answer it there as well.
Right, so if there are no more questions, I think just on behalf of our team, we just want to say thank you to everyone for your attendance and attention this afternoon. And if anyone does have any further questions or would like to discuss further, please feel free to reach out to our VMware team or our CDW team. So yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.